going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 22 of A to Z Sports Talk. Zach and Conlon are back to join me this week, and for the first time, we are all three together in the same room. Today, we have our top 10 right fielders, our reactions to every NHL and NBA playoff series, and then our next NFL team, which is sadly the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, though, Zach and Conlon are here. Both are officially graduated. Zach, get us started. How are you?
I'm doing good. As we talked about, not this past episode, AJ, first off, great job doing it solo.
Yep,
but
appreciate it.
Yeah, I graduated last week, and then I went to Kaylee's graduation this past weekend. So it's been a lot of graduations and a lot of events. I've been so busy. I have not really watched a lot of sports except watch the Blues and go to the Cardinal game last night, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Colin, how about you?
Yeah, I'm graduated too.
All done.
Feeling old. I don't start work until June 27th, so I got some time here. I watched my little brother play some baseball games. I guess they played in the district championship game for the first time in like 8 years or something. They haven't won one in over 30 years, and they got crushed. They gave up 9 runs. It's 7-inning game, but they had 8 errors, and yeah, it was just really, really poor
I think
baseball.
whenever you have more errors than innings, it's probably not a good combination.
No. Yeah, so they got hammered. They couldn't hit the ball either. So, but the other team scored 9 runs and only had 2 hits out of the infield. So it was really poor. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I plan on just watching more of his baseball this summer, and then fishing and watching hockey for now. So
is it like a Legion team or something?
yeah, he's been for the Legion. Yep.
They play so much.
They play like 42 games.
I played Legion freshman, and you play like every single day. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Holy cow.
I told him I wasn't going to go watch a single game, but that's probably a lie. I'll go watch them a little bit.
Well, I'm a little jealous of both of you for graduating. I still have 2 semesters
AJ
left.
has 2 years left.
Plus summer classes.
That's a pain. It's a big pain, but
You can do it.
did you guys have Did you see it today?
I did. Also, I never realized they painted the base. I'm just realizing that.
Yeah, we're in person, and we have the Cardinal game on, so we may get distracted a lot during this.
Yeah.
We're like squirrels. We get distracted easily.
Did you see it? You want to go for a sec?
Yeah, sure. So I have 2. One is, I know AJ and Conlon are not big golf
Fans.
Golf fans. I was thinking some weird thing to say, but the
Expert.
PGA Championship happened this past weekend, the second major of the year after the Masters, and it was kind of crazy the last end of the round. So I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. Let me click on it. Mito Pereira. He was 6 under going into the last hole, and Justin Thomas and Will Zalatoris had finished, and they were 5 under. And so Mito Pereira, going to keep pronouncing it wrong probably, he double bogeyed the last hole and missed the playoff. So a lot of people were hoping he just bogeyed, so then there'd be a 3-person playoff, which would be kind of cool. But he's just like, screw it. I'm not even going to join the playoff. I'm just going to get out and just not have a chance to win. So he double bogey, which kind of sucked for him. But then Justin Thomas and Will Zalatoris had a playoff, and Justin Thomas won the PGA Championship. So that was kind of cool.
Did he miss putts, or what happened?
I think he hit it into the water on his drive. He took drive route, and he was up by 1, and I think the playoff, they had 3-hole playoff, and they went to hole 13, then hole 17, played hole 18. And whenever they got to hole 18, I think Will Zalatoris, he was down 1 stroke because Justin Thomas, I think hole 17 was a par 4, and he drove the green on a par 4, which is crazy, and birdied it. And Zalatoris on hole 18, he hit like a 3-wood. And I think the announcers were like, that's what Pierre should have done. So they're just still on him. But
the Pereira and Zalatoris, they're not like popular golfers, are they?
I
know Thomas.
I've never heard of Pereira. Zalatoris got popular last year. He was in the Masters and played really good. He's a young guy. A lot of people put a picture of him. He looks like what's his name? Happy Gilmore's caddy, like his first caddy with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
He really looked just like him.
And then Tiger Woods also, I saw he dropped out.
Yeah,
so 3rd day or something.
Like he made the cut, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Tiger made the cut." Then he shoots the worst round ever in the championship, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to withdraw."
He looked in pain though, like he was limping around.
I don't know why he's trying to be so tough guy and play through it. Just heal up.
Yeah.
Oh, I have another one. It is I think that video's been circulating a lot,
Mhm.
but have you guys ever seen blindfold racing?
Yes.
I know, yeah,
I
you said you
love
did.
that.
It's just like 10 people. If
I would never do it, but yes.
It's just like 10 people literally sprinting down a grass field and they have blindfolds. And this video is 2 guys just completely run directly into a wall, and it's hilarious. Funny stuff.
Yours?
So both of mine were actually hockey. So Pat Maroon just won his
Big
14th
rig.
straight,
Big
14th
rig.
straight playoff series. He scored the game winner in game 4 of that game series. He looks good. As much of a cluster as he ever was. He just looks like a mess. But yeah, he's won 14 in a row. I don't know player streaks, but the team that's won the most consecutive playoff series was the Islanders. I think they won 4 cups in a row in the 80s. So they're at like 18 or 19 series in a row.
I would have guessed like Canadians or like way back whenever they started, or even like Oilers.
Yeah.
I don't think Islanders would have been on my list.
But the other one in the game the other day, Wes McCauley was reffing or whatever, and something's always going on with him. So Kucherov was skating by him, and he goes like, "How'd you get this job?" And McCauley, instead of being like, like I've been in the league for a long time, it's a playoff series, like I'm experienced, he just goes, "I was a shit hockey player." Like, yeah, that's fair. But apparently they pay pretty well. So if you're a bad hockey player but can skate, give it a try.
He's always doing something though.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Some kind of funny call,
Yeah.
or I saw one.
He's so animated too.
Yeah, he was like blowing his whistle like way more than he should have, just to see what people on the ice would do. But and I did not have any. Did you see it? So is that your only one?
Yeah, those are mine.
You both of
Yeah, I
yours.
did mine.
So I guess we can start in the MLB with our top 10 right fielders. And then I had an honorable mention on my list.
Oh God, I did not have an honorable mention.
Didn't either.
It's such
If you don't crack the top 10, you're pretty much garbage.
yeah. It's such a deep.
Sorry, Dylan Carlson.
Yeah. I had Adolis Garcia as my honorable mention. A lot of power, really good defense, but bats like 190. And again, this is probably the deepest position we got. So
Yeah, I would agree.
with these 10 guys, my number 10 was Taylor Ward. This year, 379 homers, 23 RBIs, 1194 OPS. And I thought he was a rookie. This is like his 4th year.
Is it
or something
really?
like that? But he's only played like 30 or 40 games each season. But he's off to a crazy start. But
So he's injury prone, is what you're saying.
it had to have been injuries because he was batting like 260 in every year. So it wasn't like getting tossed down to the minors or anything.
Yeah.
But who did you guys have for number 10?
I had Mitch Haniger. For some reason, I typed it as Mitchell Haniger. I think that's I don't know why I did that. That was weird, but yeah, I put him on there. He's had some pretty good years in the past. As I'm looking at Baseball Reference right now, and it's not pulling up because I don't know what I did. But last year he had a really good year, and I just think he's a really solid player. And heck, I'd take him on my team. And I think I'm not completely positive, but didn't the Cardinals at one point kind of entertain the possibility of trade for him?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it was
And
definitely a thing.
he had, if I can pull it up, it's taking me like 3 years. I clicked on his college stats, not his MLB stats.
I know he had 30 homers last year. I think it
Yes, he had 39 home runs,
Yeah.
100 RBIs. He batted 253, had 318 on base, so not like amazing gain on base, but still that's pretty good. And then in 2018, he was an all-star and he batted 285, 366 on base, had 26 home runs and 93 RBIs. So he's proven to be consistent. He's 31, but it's kind of a young 31. He's only been in the league 6 years.
Yeah.
But I think he's a pretty solid player. How about you, Conlon?
I had Taylor Ward as well. I mean, obviously he's dominated this year, but this is his first, and this is such a small sample size as well.
I know.
I didn't really trust him too much.
I was tempted to put him at 8 or even 7, but that's such a small sample size, like you said. Number 9, I had Mitch Haniger. I don't have his stats this year pulled up because he only played 9 games so far this year with an injury.
I got you. He's batting 200,
Yeah.
3 homers, 7 RBIs. He's played 9 games.
Yeah. So obviously, if you just base it off that, he'd not be in our top 10. But like you said, he's proven himself in past years.
Mm-hmm. Especially last year.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Taylor Ward, as you guys had for 10.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't honestly realize he didn't play too much in the past. I just knew he was doing really good this year. So
I
give him the
could've-
benefit of the doubt. And he's 28, so he's kind of young for youngish.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could have sworn he was a rookie because I think,
Really?
but I think his 1194 OPS is leading baseball.
Yeah, it is.
What? And I think his average might be leading baseball too.
His average and on base percentage
They
And
said for
OPS.
power and yeah,
is 9 homers and 23 RBIs. So he's up there.
yeah, he's doing everything.
Yeah. So I have him up there.
Yeah, I had Mitch Haniger here as well. So,
Okay.
AJ
So we just
we're-
flip-flopped
yeah,
him.
So AJ,
Okay.
yeah, so AJ, we're looking good.
All right.
I know our top of the list is different. so.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, AJ picking some weird people. We'll get to that.
Number 8, I had Starling Marte. This year, 268, 4 homers, 22 RBIs, 720 OPS. I think last year, he had 48 stolen bases, something crazy like
Yeah,
that.
he was really good.
And then he was Oakland last year, and then now he's with the Mets.
Yes, he
Yeah,
got
he-
traded in the middle of the year, right? No.
Yeah.
No, he got
No,
traded.
last year.
He got traded to Oakland.
Yeah, from where was he?
It wasn't just Pittsburgh, was it?
No,
Was it Miami?
He's been all. Yeah, it was
Miami.
Was it?
He's been all over the place.
He's one guy I've wanted in St. Louis for a long time. He does
He's solid.
great defense, great speed. What is he? 32?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
I think he's right at 30 something. I can look.
Okay. But yeah, tremendous speed, great arm, cover a lot of ground. Only 4 homers this year, but I mean, I guess 4 homers is not that bad.
Yeah.
And I think he just left. I think his grandma passed away, so he missed a few games.
Yeah, he wasn't at the Cardinals series when we played the Mets.
Yep. That was in New York. You talking about
Yes.
Yeah.
If he
But
was
he
there, he
was-
probably would have lost all games.
Starling? Yeah, Starling Marte was my number 8 though.
I had Kyle Tucker as my number 8. I think a lot of people may have him higher, but he's young and he's really only had one breakout season. That was last year when he batted 294, 359 on base percentage. Dang, he had a really good year.
Yeah,
30 home runs and 92 RBIs, which is pretty dang good. And was that technically his rookie year?
it
Or
might
not.
If it wasn't, it was like his second year. But he also
Yeah, it was his second year, I
coming to
think.
this year, people had like MVP.
Yeah, they had big
Talks.
expectations. And he's batting 240, 337 on base,
Uh-huh.
7 homers, 26 RBIs. So I think he's going to get up to 290-ish. He's not hitting bad,
No, yeah.
but and as we talked about, the whole league is hitting awful
And
at the
in
moment.
Houston, he's that ballpark. He's he's
Mhm.
lefty, but even the right field wall's short. And
Yeah, I think lefties is probably better at Houston.
yeah,
I have Randy Rosarena here,
Okay.
which is kind of a hot take, but
Ooh,
it is.
I don't trust any of our GM's moves, and so I think he's going to end
Yeah.
up being really good. And I know last year he had a good season, and even when he was, I guess last year was his first full season, but before that, I mean, he was a pretty solid player as well, and the very, very small sample size. But he's batting 265 this year with 4 home runs, and
His average is up from when I looked at it last.
I was
yeah.
about to say,
Yeah.
he was like 220. Like
he
a
was
week ago.
really struggling. Yeah, so I mean, I think he'll turn it on, and
I was getting worried that maybe he was running out of steam out of that
Mhm.
like luck that he had.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know he might be that guy. Number 7, I had Kyle Tucker. Don't have to talk much. Zach kind of just covered it all. But yeah, 247 homers, 26 RBIs, 769 OPS. Not the numbers I guess people expected. He could be a guy that's a top, I don't know, I'm looking at the list now. Top 5 maybe. But you look at these top, is that a hot take?
No. I was looking at the
Oh.
continue.
No, but I'm looking at the top 5 guys. I don't know if he can crack top 5. He's pretty close though, especially if he goes to what people expect in the MVP
Mhm.
type stuff. But he was my number 7.
If he gets an MVP,
He
he could jump Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge doesn't have an MVP, does he? No.
Rookie of the
Did he get it?
does.
He did.
Did he?
He had 50 homers that year, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Number 7 is Teoscar Hernandez for me, who just drove in a run at the Cardinal game, so that's great. But he's playing terrible at the beginning of this year. He's batting, it's really that low. 149,
What's how many games though? I think he's missed quite a
20
bit.
games. So he's missed,
That's more than I thought.
but he was a solid player, but last year he really took a big jump and he had 32 home runs, 116 RBIs, batted 296, and had 346 on base percentage. The years before, he really didn't have or he kind of started to play good during the COVID year, but the years before he had like 230 batting averages, but he's really turned it on, and he's just like another person added in that Blue Jays lineup.
Yeah.
And the Blue Jays, they have a lot of guys who are just get it through the farm system. Like they're good hitters if you think about it. So I have him, and he's pretty fast.
And they also have every former Hall of Famers.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Bichette, Vladdy Guerrero, and
Bichette's his father's a Hall of Famer.
not a Hall of Famer,
Former player.
and then Guerrero and Biggio.
Mm-hmm.
Biggio kid's not done much yet.
No. But yeah, Teoscar Hernandez, solid player.
He's your number 7?
Yes.
Right.
I'd take him in the outfield somewhere.
Definitely.
How about you, Colin?
Yeah, I have Starling Marte. I like his consistency. He's been doing it for he's been doing it for a long time, but that makes him seem like really old. He's not that old. I think it's like his 11th year, 10th year, something like that. But I feel like he just keeps getting better, and he's been really, really consistent, hovering around like 290 for his entire career. So
I agree.
Yeah.
He's another name that we talked about. I think it was me and you talked about every week. It seems like we come up with a former Pirate that is doing really well.
Yeah.
They just,
There's a ton of former Pirates.
probably every top 10 list we can find one.
Back in the day when they had they had McCutcheon, Josh Harrison, Starling Marte.
I had high hopes for
Polanco.
and he just
He's
never
dropped
turned
off
out.
the corner.
Yeah, he just fell off. My number 6 was Teoscar Hernandez. Again, terrible stats this year, but proven himself the last couple of years. We don't have to cover that much.
I have Starling Marte as number 6. I know they had him a little lower, but I think just his just as Colin was saying, his consistency and his defensive ability. He's won 2 Gold Gloves, really fast, great leadoff hitter. His career average for 11 years is 289, which I think that's pretty dang good. Not a big power guy, but he steals a lot of bases and just super consistent. Yeah, he did steal 47 bases last year.
He's also chiseled. Literally jacked.
Well, we also all played baseball, and you know how from one year to another, just how much changes. You can go like 2 months without even touching a baseball.
Yeah.
And so like doing it consistently for 10 years, being right around 290 pretty much every year is really, really impressive.
Yeah.
But for 6, I have Kyle Tucker. I've already talked about it a lot. So.
Okay. This is when it gets kind of interesting. So my number 5 is my number 5 is Mookie Betts.
Okay, hot take.
I think it's because of the last, I don't know, I don't have it pulled up, but the last 2 years, I guess he's had a little bit of a drop off. Right now, he's 280, 10 homers, 26 RBIs, 909 OPS. He's doing really well this year.
He batted 264 last year, 367 on base, 23 home runs, 58 RBIs.
Yeah.
Was he like their leadoff hitter last year?
That or some kind of injury, because 58 RBIs is low.
He played 122 games, and also in the 2020 year, he actually played good in that year. He had 292, 366 on base. I think a lot of us, we look at that year and we're like, man, they suck, but they only played 60 games.
Yeah. But no, he's one of those guys and can literally, he's one of those people that can do everything well. He bowled like a 300. Yes. He dunks a basketball.
Yeah.
He literally, he does everything. Could probably play wide receiver if you wanted him to.
Be on the PGA Tour.
So I know you probably both have him higher on your list, and I'm not against that at all. I just look at these 4 names in front of them, and I'm like, phew. But who was your 5?
I have Aaron Judge, which some people may say is a hot take.
That's a hot take for me.
I think just in some of the past, he's had some injury issues, which are kind of a red flag. Like he had that really good year when he was 25, hit 52 home runs. He did not win MVP. He got second in voting.
Yeah, he won Silver Slugger.
Who won the MVP?
That's a good question.
Jose Altuve. He batted 346. Yeah, so he had 52 home runs. Yeah, that's awesome. Then the next 2 years, he played over 100 games. Wasn't up to that, how good he played that year. And then this year, he's putting it on. He had a great year last year, but I think the guys in front of him are better and have more, to me, better and have more potential in the future too.
Mm-hmm.
If he stays healthy, though.
And Aaron Judge is I think he's an okay defender. He's a cannon.
He's a really good arm.
Yeah.
He's got a gun.
And he can move
He can move
Probably-
pretty well for his size.
Exactly. Not probably. I mean, not as well as someone like Mookie out there.
Yeah,
But
for being 6'7", 282 pounds. And moving around. That's pretty good.
what is his weight?
On Baseball Reference, it says 282.
Did you know that?
I knew he was massive. I didn't know he was that.
I thought I was going to guess like 250.
He's 6'7" and ripped, so
Yeah,
he had to
he's
be up
massive.
there.
280 is insane.
I don't know if how up to date. I think Baseball Reference is pretty up to date. So
I think
yeah.
I think him and Lance Lynn's 280s might be a little different.
A little bit.
Fat
He's
and muscle.
282.
Huh?
He's 280.
280, yeah.
Oh my gosh, how tall is he?
6'5".
That's big
Lance
boy.
Lynn's that tall.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dang.
My 5, I had Ronald Acuna. Just because he's only really had one full year, which obviously was fantastic. But just kind of curious to see what happens. He also, I mean, he just tore his ACL, which is, I mean, kind of not really easy to come back from. So I'm a little sketched out on that, and so that's why I had the other 4 above him. So I think he's had a pretty good year this year too.
Yeah, in his
Not hitting for a whole lot of power, but he's
16
average is
games,
solid.
he's has 274 batting average and 400 on base, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. He has 8 stolen bases too, so I guess that ACL is doing okay.
Yeah.
What's he batting leadoff for them? I think
Probably. They always have him batting leadoff, which I'm not a huge fan of,
so.
but
Yeah. What that's what I went and talked about last week with George Springer, because he's not your prototypical leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
I had Acuna at 4, and the ACL, or was it Achilles?
it was
ACL.
ACL. That's
I remember that we were all together when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the day before my birthday.
Yeah. And it's a good point because he has tons of power and a great arm, and he's really 5 tools. But what makes him like so great is he stole 40 plus bases or something crazy.
37. He almost
37.
had the 40 and 40.
Yeah. So that's what made him like kind of crazy. And so hopefully the ACL, and you guys mentioned it, 8 stolen bases already. Hopefully that doesn't affect him too much. But he's, how old is he? 22, 23,
He's young.
He's
I don't know.
24 there.
24? I mean,
He had his good season when he was 21.
yeah, the sky's the limit for him still. But I put him in like that Soto range where it's like young guys that we're going to see for years and years.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I
he
agree.
was my number 4.
I had Bryce Harper, number 4. One of my
Ooh.
least liked players of all time, but gotta respect him, put him up there. He when he was 22, he won MVP. He had a really good year. Then he kind of didn't have as great of years. It just looked at me because he loves Bryce Harper.
I do like Bryce, yeah.
And then he had some good years after that. At his last year with Washington, his year with Philadelphia, he hit almost 35 bombs in each year. And then he sucked with Philadelphia to begin with. He played all right. He played all right, but I just love seeing him not succeed. But he won MVP last year, and so you got to give him credit. He's won 2 MVPs. I hate him, but he's a good player.
If his career ended right now, is he a Hall of Famer?
No,
No.
Really?
Yes.
I would have to
No.
look at everything.
he doesn't even have 300 home runs.
I
he's-
know he doesn't. I hate when like Bryce Harper comes up and they're like, oh, he's gonna get in just because his name is Bryce Harper,
Yeah.
even though he
Right.
may not even deserve it.
I want to
He has
see.
41.2 career WAR,
Okay.
and then Mike Trout has 70 some, and
Yeah.
he's like a couple more years older.
I think he will end up being a Hall of Famer because what is he, 30 only?
He's 29.
Yeah, it seems like he's been here forever because he came up when he was
Came up when
19.
he was
So I
which is
think
ridiculous.
I think if he continues the pace that he's on right now, but like you mentioned, those years that he struggled in, I guess his last couple of years in Washington.
he didn't
like a-
play that. His average is just lower. He had like they're solid years. He had 24 home runs, 86 RBIs, batted 243, 373 on base. And then the next year he hit 29 home runs, 87 RBIs, batted 319, 430. That's like a solid year. But his like home runs and RBIs aren't up there with how he usually is.
He's a good fielder.
Yeah.
Really good arm.
Good on base guy.
Yeah.
Like on base percentage.
That's where I had him as well at 4. Smart.
Wow, okay. My number 3 was Aaron Judge. And if we're going off just this year, I think we can all agree Aaron Judge is number 1. But if we're taking kind of past years into play, this year, 325, 17 home runs already, 34 RBIs, 1113 OPS. A mammoth of a human being. So, yeah, I saw a picture, I think it was yesterday. He was drinking a water bottle.
I
And
thought that was Photoshop.
I know.
I
It
don't
was
think that was
yeah,
real.
It was really tiny in his hand, but yeah, there's not much. I think. What do you have him at 5?
Yes.
Okay, so we already talked about him.
You had him at 4. No, 3.
3.
I had Mookie Betts. I know AJ had him at 5.
Like 8. No, yeah, 5.
5.
Yeah.
I think he's not only like a solid player, super consistent. If you look at his career, he's had like 8 years that are really solid and great hitter. He played leadoff he was their leadoff hitter at Boston when he won his MVP. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Gold Gloves. So he's a 5-tool player. And I think a lot of people just look at the hitting stats, but I think defending is really important in baseball. And I think I like a good defender. So that's why I put him at 3.
Mhm.
And he's been super consistent.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. I have Judge at 3, and then I have Mookie at 2.
Okay.
So,
I have Juan Soto at 2. But I know a lot of people would have him at number 1, and I think probably both of you do. This year, not his strong, and not a real strong start, I should say.
He didn't have a
245.
strong start last year either, I don't think.
No, but it's also a Washington team that. I mean, I'm looking at his
sucks.
RBIs. 13 RBIs. He got 8 home runs though, and 245 average, 833 OPS. The RBIs aren't there because there's
He's on base.
there's nobody in
Yeah.
front of him. But what is he? 23.
23.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned with Acuna, he's going to be here
He was
till we're like in our 40s.
I didn't realize he was 20. When he was 20 years old, he hit 34 home runs and had 110 RBIs.
Got a World Series ring already.
Somehow he
Yeah.
didn't win the Rookie of the Year. He hit 22 home runs, 70 RBIs. That may have been when Acuna came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Acuna won it.
But yeah, he's my number 2. Absolute stud.
I have Acuna up there. Mine is based on, one, his year was super good, and just like his potential to be really good.
Yeah.
Like I'd trade O'Neal, Carlson to get Acuna.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've talked about Acuna, stud. Hopefully he gets starts hitting like he was pre-ACL, because he's pretty fun to watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if he can't put like the torque on it that he used
Yeah, he's
to.
probably just nervous. Like I had a sports engineering class, and we had a guy from Clemson, like sports science, come in and talk about ACL tears. And he says after you tear it, you have to relearn like the sensory motor stuff, because you like tore part of your ligament, and there's like neurons just to control it. You have to get like
Yeah.
the feel. Like it was kind of crazy going through this. I never thought of it that way.
He did it in the outfield, didn't he?
Yeah,
Wasn't
he was
chasing down
running
the
and
ball?
like jumped and just
Yeah, like on the wall.
Ugh.
Tough.
Your
I had
number-
Mookie.
number 2.
Mookie.
And then my number 1 was Bryce Harper. 292 this year, 9 homers, 27 RBIs, 943 OPS. I think the reason I have him there is he's coming off an MVP, and he's proven. I think we can all agree Soto is going to be insane, Hall of Famer type material. But I think Harper's has that experience and has proven that over the past few years. Over guys like Judge, it's more health, and then same with like Acuna, still young, and then Mookie is really those top 5 of Harper, Soto, Judge, Acuna, Betts. You can make an argument for all of them.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
absolutely insane. But yeah, Harper. I'm also a Harper fan. I wish he wasn't in Philly though. Like I absolutely hate Philly. Probably my least favorite like sports city. But yeah, Harper's my number 1.
I had Juan Soto. Just he's so 23 years old, and he's been super consistent for the 5 years. He's already played 5 years. For the 5 years he's been in the major leagues, and God, he's gonna be super good.
Yeah.
And he almost won an MVP last year in the National League if Harper.
So he's up for contract either next year or the year after.
Arbitration or like actual, or because if you're in the league for 7 years, you can be a free agent. No,
Oh, is it 7?
I don't know.
I don't know. MLB's the weirdest with this stuff. So, I
So
don't know.
maybe they were. I've heard a lot of talk about maybe it might have just been like they were trying to lock him up for good.
Mhm.
And the contract is insane. It's like 13 years.
you could live at like the highest. It
It's
could be
close
like
to
Mike
It could
Trout,
be,
It's
yeah.
close to 400.
like Mike Trout stuff.
Yeah. Which I think we can all agree. It just seems like it never turns
It
out.
never works out.
No.
I think the worst one ever. Do you remember? Was it Kovalchuk? Ilya Kovalchuk, hockey player?
I don't remember what he got, but
I think it was 16 years.
oh my god.
And correct me if I'm wrong with that. But
Wayne
yeah,
Gretzky should have got like 80
Yeah,
years.
McDavid.
Probably could still play right now.
Yeah. So you had Soto and I had
Harper,
I had Soto as well.
Yeah.
smart,
absolute studs.
so good. I didn't realize he was. Just imagine if Washington being if they would have just kept Soto and Harper, they'd have a great outfield.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was 15 years,
What was the money? I mean, money was probably not as high.
6.7 million a year.
But I think it was the what? Did you say 15?
15.
Well, when he signed that, he was like, he wasn't young.
No, he'd already been in the league for
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
bought him out.
makes
They
sense.
bought him out. I guess after year 8.
Who was it though? Was it Devils?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can. Do you have anything to say about Soto?
No.
Yeah, we pretty much cover that.
Yeah.
We can use that Kovalchuk there to move into NHL here.
What do you want to talk about the Cardinals? Anything?
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. Cardinals 4-game winning streak. They won all 3 over the Pirates. It wasn't like a much must win or anything like that, especially this early in the season. But it was good to see them win all 3 against the Pirates. And then we won last night with the Blue Jays. And then currently
We're
1-0.
losing.
We're down
1-0.
What did Pez just do? Did you see?
I do not know, but it didn't look like it was good because we're in commercial break.
Yeah, fair.
But no, the Pirates, I guess, what was the first 2 games like? Because the third one we won 18-4.
We won by a good amount.
I think
Or
it was-
one we won like 5-4 because they came back.
Yeah.
I thought we smoked in the other game too.
So it was 5-3, 5-4, 18-4.
Yeah.
And you can't go without mentioning what happened in the last game of the series to finish off the
Yeah,
finish off the
Pujols hitting 2 homers. One was off a position player, but no one needs to know that.
Nope.
They won't know that in the
Nope.
in the box. Maybe not in like many years in the future. Remember
Right.
Van Demeter as a position player.
Yeah.
And then Yachty came up pitching. He was basically pitching like BP out there. I loved it. He'd get the ball, just take a really step and just lob it in there. He just
I
worked
saw
so
like
fast.
62 on the gun from him.
They were joking on the broadcast how something happened in the play, and then when they show replay, but they're like, "Yeah, we don't have enough time because Yachty pitches it so fast."
Yeah. I saw somebody posted like if you look on Google, it says like baseball catcher. Somebody crossed out and put baseball pitcher on the, so everybody's having fun with it. I think
Well, Pujols and Yachty were going back and forth too because he just pitched last
Yeah,
week, and then Pujols was like, "Well, I pitched better." He's like, "I didn't give up a double," and Yachty's like, "I didn't walk anybody." So
They both have the same ERA, so they give it the same runs.
yeah.
Which is funny.
And I think the guy that stood out, and we talked about it a little bit, that stood out to me so far, or I guess in this 4-game winning streak, is Brendan Donovan. I mean, you love to see guys like Gorman's now up and Liberatore, and he pitched, 4 1/3, 4 runs, something like that the other night.
Mhm.
yeah, 4 2/3, I think.
And Gorman's looked pretty good so far in a very small sample size. But let's see, O'Neill went down, injury. Carlson went down with an injury. And Matz is on the injured list now.
Yes.
But no, Brendan Donovan, back to him. I got a little sidetracked there. Brendan Donovan's been unbelievable. What's he batting? Like 3?
on like 340.
He
Yeah.
has like a 490 on base, something crazy
Yeah.
high.
And then he
Yeah.
had a diving catch in right field last
Yes,
night to
he
save
did.
the game.
Yeah, that was clutch.
Yeah. Plays good. I mean, solid shortstop.
Literally Tommy
Second.
Edman. He can play anywhere.
He's got the, I don't know if you guys see it. Do you see Bader in him? Like,
Yeah,
looks
just 'cause
wise?
it's
It
hair,
might just be
yeah.
the hair.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
He's
but-
batting second tonight because I think he's thinking he has a really good eye for hitting and just makes contact.
What I'm seeing is like the other night, Lars Nootbaar hit 3 homers in
Mhm.
AAA.
Mhm.
Gorman's got insane potential. Then you got guys like Walker, and other guys coming up. Unless Paul DeYoung starts raking, I don't know if he's gonna even.
And also
Oh, I think
Mason
he's
Wynn got called up to Double A, and
Yeah.
he's been a really good prospect. He's a shortstop.
How do you guys feel about packaging up a couple of them for like a starting pitcher? Because we're obviously win now with Wayne Ogiati
Yes.
and Albert. So how do you feel about packaging up a guy like Newt Barr, and even if it is Mason Wynn or somebody with Gorman even? I say no to Jordan Walker.
Yes.
He's like off limits.
He's
even more than Gorman.
19 and hitting. Nolan Gorman was in AAA last year, and he was 22 or
Yeah.
21, and Jordan Walker's 19 hitting over 300
Yeah.
in AA. He could be up next year. Heck, if he
And he's
keeps
also
playing good.
6'5", 230.
Yes.
He hasn't even grown into his body yet.
And he's really
Yeah.
fast.
It's like, so how do you guys feel about packaging up a couple of those guys for? I don't even know who's available. They mentioned. I know.
Oh, that's a hell of a play. Man, that is not
Gorman with the bad
throw.
throw. Wait, no, he's not playing second.
No, Arenado just
Oh, is it
made a
Nado?
hell of
Oh,
a
Arenado.
play. Check that replay.
What I was saying was Frankie Montes was a guy that was talking.
Is he didn't play pitching okay?
He's injured now,
Oh,
so that's kind of
perfect.
puts a
Perfect.
wrinkle on that. And then Luis Castillo for the Reds, they're like number one. He, I'm checking out this replay real quick.
Ooh, dove to his left, threw it.
That is his right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, Gorman threw it away.
Yeah, Gorman threw it away.
Yeah, he
You-
didn't
That
even
did
look
not
where he
look
was
good at all.
throwing.
But
But no, I don't know what pitcher's available. I don't. Hopefully, Flaherty's back. I know
God, I
Ray,
forgot about Flair.
Reyes is out for the year,
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
just had shoulder surgery.
and I don't know what your plan is for him because dude can't stay healthy. I'm really high on him, but dude can't stay healthy.
Mhm.
And then besides that, there's not a lot. I'm trying to think of bad teams that maybe have a pitcher. The one guy, and I don't think we like him, but Madison Bumgarner is a guy, and doesn't he seem like he's like we might talk about this, like he's 38 or 37?
old. Yeah.
He's 32.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Yeah.
He's really young.
He's
He
32,
looks
and he
old.
just he came up when he was like 19,
yeah.
and he pitched so much for San Francisco.
Yeah.
But he's got like a 1.20 ERA this year, something insane.
And he's unhittable in the postseason.
Yeah, and he doesn't attack hitters like he used to. It used to be 95 up in the zone. Now it's
Mhm.
91. He gets a lot of ground balls, but it's like that. It must be that delivery. He's kind of slinging it up there. But when I saw 32, I could have sworn he was like near Wainwright in age. But
Yeah.
they have an 8-year difference, which is insane.
What about I've seen some whenever the Washington was talking about Juan Soto, should we just say YOLO and just send a bunch of people for Juan Soto?
What do you think?
No, because we won't pay him. We won't pay
True,
him. And
true.
we won't keep him long term.
And this guy I'm about to mention has no, like, he's not even going to get the same amount of money as Soto. But Flaherty's a guy, I think after next year, he's a free agent.
gone.
He's not coming.
He's going to LA.
He's an
He's
LA
going
guy.
West Coast.
You got that vibe from him anyway. So I don't want to give up on Liberatore, even though I don't know if he's ready now yet.
Mhm.
But if you get a healthy Flaherty, Wayno's look like he's still got it. Michaelis has been tremendous. And then Matt's has been up and down, and Hicks gives you the 4 innings. So, but do you guys have anything else Cardinals wise?
No.
I had a couple other things. The Padres have won 5 straight. We talked about them a few times in past weeks. The Giants have lost 5 straight. The Twins have 5 straight wins. And then the Astros are now leading the AL West, 27-16 on the year. And they lost Carlos Correa, and I thought they would kind of fall off a little bit because that's the middle of the order bat. But Jeremy Pena is a 24-year-old rookie. He's got 7 homers, 22 RBIs, been 287 with an 847 OPS. And I hear he's like the next Carlos Correa is what they keep saying. But so I guess got to keep an eye on that. But now we can move on to NHL. I would say this round, I mean, this is not a hot take. This round is not as exciting as the first. I also
I
kind of
agree.
get sad because every night it's like 4 games to watch, and now it's like 2.
Yeah.
It's not as fun.
Well, it's 1 now.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys want to start in the Hurricane Rangers? Is that cool?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, also all these games are so low scoring. Like every game
Yeah.
hits the under.
Yeah. So the Hurricane are up 2-1 on the Rangers. Game 4 is tonight, I believe. And I put Game 3 reaction. I don't think I watched Game 3 though.
I've only watched the Blues games, if I'm being honest.
Game 3. I didn't watch Game 3. I watched the one. I guess I watched Game 1 and part of Game 2.
Oh, I watched the end of Game 3 because they had like a mini brawl at the end.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah, and then the Rangers coach afterwards said, like if they want to do that, we have those type of guys that are ready for that.
Oh, well, Game 3 is actually going on right now. Oops, I thought it was later.
Okay.
Oh, it's already 7:30. That would be why.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 2-0 Rangers going to middle second.
So is it 2 or the score is 2-0?
10 minutes left in the second. So
See, I think I tweeted on our account even if the Rangers win, I don't think they have a chance of coming out of the series. But if they win
They're
both,
not gonna win a home or an away game.
that's true.
I mean,
And more like the Hurricane aren't going to lose in a home game.
Yeah.
It's like they've been dominant.
that place is insane.
I put Game 4 prediction, but I guess it's already going. But
Yeah, what do you guys got? You
so
got
Rangers.
comeback or- yeah.
I'm going comeback
Yeah.
Hurricanes.
The next series, the Lightning and the Panthers, 4-0 sweep. And so you sent a message to us the other day about us. Did we?
I had Tampa going to the finals.
Yeah.
And then when we were talking about it on the podcast, I was like, I don't remember if you guys talked me out of it or if I talked myself out of it, but I remember I put the Panthers winning this series and they just got
I
absolutely
might have talked you out of it. 'Cause
dominated by Vasilevsky.
I was really high on the Panthers. But what'd you say? 49 saves?
49 saves in the
Last night?
shutout, the clincher. I mean, he's insane. He's in the last 5 games, he's got like a 975 save percentage. He's given up 1 goal or less in every game. So
Unless the Avalanche, as much as I hate to say it, if the Avalanche knock off us, they're the only team I think that can beat the Lightning. Even that, I thought the Lightning would run out of steam by now, but if Vasilevsky plays like that, there's no
The great equalizer.
there's no way of beating that. But no, the Panthers through game 2 of the series were 0 for the last 25 on the power play, I believe. Something like that.
so yeah.
It's just
Something
ridiculously
pathetic,
bad. And I guess we don't have to talk much more about it, but where do you go as the Panthers now? Just kind of like the Maple Leafs where you got a bad draw and you kind of just bring everybody back, or you try to make a change?
I have no idea where to go from there.
Because they were pretty low scoring besides the
Yeah.
5-1, and I guess that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really Bobrovsky's fault.
No, I mean, well, they scored 3 goals in the entire series.
Yeah.
So you're not going to win a whole lot of games like that. But going back to Vasilevsky, though, real quick, this was as of last summer. So before this postseason, in his series clinching games, he had won 7 straight. And overall, so even the games he lost, so he's 9-4 total. He's but 7 straight wins, with a 950 save percentage and 4 shutouts.
It's ridiculous.
And then it's gotten even better this year against Toronto and in Florida.
I will say this is my first missed prediction in our bracket. As the biggest hockey guy here, I got my first one completely correct.
Yeah.
Not bragging at all, but yeah, it's pretty proud.
No big deal.
That's actually pretty good though. 8 for 8.
That's impressive.
I was very surprised until I looked back at it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I missed the Kings Oilers.
Good transition, AJ.
Yeah.
Good transition.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can use that. The Oilers are up 2-1 on the Flames in the Battle of Alberta. Game 3 was they won, I think it was 5-0.
4-1.
4-1. Okay. And what I'm taking away from this whole series is 2 things. One, Markstrom's been awful.
Mhm.
And also this is taking Connor McDavid, the best player in hockey, and it's a whole he's taking a new approach, I guess. He's hitting everything in sight.
Yeah.
He's setting the tone for everybody. And it's trickled down. I think Evander Kane had a hat trick in game 3. Draisaitl's been unbelievable. And game 2 was 9-6, I think it was.
Game 1.
Or game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So both goalies
Was that? And no.
that was in Calgary.
Didn't they tie it? Come back and tie it?
Yeah, they were down 5-1 and came
Yeah.
back and tied it 6-6 because I was going to bed and it was 4-0.
Mhm.
And the next thing I know, it was 4-4. Right before I went to bed, I checked and I'm like, what the hell? So I went back and watched the end of it. So
Mike Smith was awful. And then these last, I guess, 2 games,
yeah,
he's been a lot better, making some crazy saves also. But who do you guys have in game 4? Game 4 is tonight, correct?
yeah,
I think it's tonight.
yeah. It's I think about to start.
And it's in Edmonton.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Calgary to tie it up.
I am too.
I'm going Oilers. Connor McDavid's going to take over.
It's a must-win game for Calgary. I
Yeah.
mean, they have to win. Markstrom's been poo, but he has to be better. But yeah, I mean, McDavid is just, he's done everything in that line. It's him, Kane, and is it?
It's Draisaitl.
Is it?
All 3 of them.
They are playing together.
Yeah.
I thought Hyman was on that line now, but
As far as last game.
okay,
Dang, that's
yeah, but I
crazy.
mean, they've been completely unstoppable.
You would think
I thought he got a hold of that one.
you would think that you could plan against, because it's that one line. And the second line, when Hyman's not on the top, they have Hyman, Puljujarvi, and Nugent Hopkins.
Which is
After that, it's
a
like
good line there too.
But the third and fourth line, it's like
Nothing. Yeah.
Cassian, and then I don't even know who else. I mean, it's just
It's not much.
So you think you could kind of plan against that number one line, but they're just so good.
There's not a lot you can do.
Yeah. And then the last series, the Avalanche and the Blues, which is sadly 3-1 Avalanche right now. I went to game 4 last night, and the whole Kadri stuff, and I don't know. It was rough to be there last night. I thought we had a chance after the second. We had 2 power play goals.
Late.
Booch and Perron both took advantage there. And then in the third, I knew they weren't going to call much because they want more 5-on-5 hockey to close out the game. And I'm in no way saying, oh, the refs cost us that game, like at all. But I don't know how on Kadri, the one we got, Perron went nuts on him. And then Booch crossed him too. But Kadri's the one who cross-checked the beginning to start it. And so I thought at least give them a 5-on-4. We actually killed it off. Or maybe there was 1 second. No, we killed it off because both came out of the box.
Yeah. It was like 7 or 8 seconds out.
And Kadri was like on the what do you call it, wing.
Yeah.
And just sniped it home and had a hat trick, which was really
pain.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So I didn't have as big of a problem with the refs this game was game 4 as game 3. I thought they were horrible.
I'm thinking about that one.
There were like the stick grab when Kadri's just holding his stick, just blatant. And then there was another one. I don't remember what it was, but I remember texting you guys and I was just like, how is that not a penalty? Like it was so blatant. And then they called Booch on the interference.
Yeah, I was gonna say interference.
And he was just standing there.
Yeah.
He had stopped skating.
Yeah.
And he was set up in front of the net and the guy just ran into him and then flopped. And obviously they called a penalty on Booch, which disallowed a goal for us. So it was a 2-goal swing. Instead of being 2-0, it was then, or I don't remember the score, but yeah, it was a 2-goal swing because they scored on that power play
and then
lost a goal.
I know a lot of people were like blaming Husso for coming out, and it was a bad mistake he made.
He made a couple. Yeah.
I mean, did we talk about the Bennington thing? I think that we already talked about that. Maybe not.
No,
we haven't. We all agree it wasn't it wasn't dirty, but knowing Kadri,
it was dirty.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, we said it was. What I said originally when we were talking about it when it happened, I said it wasn't dirty, but it was dangerous.
Yeah,
and he knows it's a dangerous play, and it's not dirty because he doesn't like intentionally like injure him, but it's a very dangerous play.
Yeah, and
there's been plenty of times in the series where we could have just absolutely ran their goalie or just done something like that, and we just don't.
Well, you saw it in the Flames Oilers. Did you see that with Lucic? He ran over Mike Smith behind the net.
I didn't think that was dirty either.
No, I thought it was breaking.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people and they had a whole scrum about it, but he was breaking, I thought. But with Kadri, it looked like a hockey play, so that's why people don't think it's like you said dangerous. But
yeah, but he was behind Rosen and pushed Rosen, just checked him in the back. I mean, it's dangerous play, and he knew there was going to be a collision.
Yeah.
So
I put him in that Marchand category of guys.
He's one of the more the dirtiest players in the league.
Yeah.
So he's been suspended 6 or 7 times.
He also has one of those faces that you kind of just
hate. It's punchable.
Very punchable face.
You just see him, even if it's a great person, you just kind of hate him secretly.
And that's definitely him. But what sucks more than anything, if he was some fourth liner that just stirred up stuff, it'd be different. And that's why I put him in the Marchand category, is that he's a top 2 line guy, and halfway through the season had the most points in hockey. He was that good. And so that hat trick really stung. I have one more hockey thing I want to, or what do you guys have for game 5? Do you think it's over in Colorado?
I don't know. I don't think we have a chance to win 3 in a row, but I don't know about game.
Bennington. Whenever Bennington came out, I'm like, yeah, this ain't good.
Yeah. Well, that killed momentum.
He just has that. I didn't watch that much in the regular season, but I don't know. Just looking at Husso, he just seemed like a little more soft, like not as intense and
Right.
Bennington's got that,
Psychopathic.
yeah.
Oh, I said this. I
Intensity.
said this last night when we were watching the game. I looked at my dad, and because we were like, they just need to start brawling. This game's at it.
Mhm.
Like it's 4-1. You might as well just like beat the hell out of someone. And so I told my dad at the end of the game, I go, they really didn't get anything in on Kadri like today. And I go, I wouldn't be surprised if the first game in Colorado next year or against Colorado,
Mhm.
Bennington fights him.
Oh,
I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Oh, I would.
I'm not holding anything from.
It'd probably start
Yeah.
Benji would like just come out of the net and just check them, even if they scored a goal and just.
He did some. It wasn't like real blatant or anything. He did something the other night where he came out of the net to mid ice. Did you see that? And
Bennington?
he checked somebody.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
not shy to do that type of stuff. I think I'm super optimistic about everything, but I think it's probably over in Colorado. I think that one last night really stung. We would have a lot of momentum if we would have pulled that one out.
We came out so flat in
Yeah.
a pretty much a must-win game. It's
Well, we
ridiculous.
were up 1-0 after the first, but the shots were
We
like
looked
16-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dominant. They always the whole first period they had in our end.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we looked really good in 2. We looked good in game 3. I thought we should have won game 3. And then we missed we had so many one-on-ones with just us and the goalie,
Yeah.
probably like 4 or 5.
And
Didn't put it any.
Credit to Kemper. I was not real high on him
No.
before this. I would probably take the majority of the goalies still left in the playoffs over him,
Yeah.
especially with Shesterkin over there, and Ronta's been really good for Carolina. But I have 2 more hockey things I want to throw at you guys. One is, and I don't want to get too early with this, but off-season moves.
Oh God.
Just 2 names I want to throw out.
Trade for
Okay.
McDavid.
So, yeah, there you go. One is Husso's an unrestricted
He's
free agent.
gone.
You'd like keep Benner?
Well, we have to. We're paying him
Yeah.
for like 6
Yeah.
more years, like $6 million.
Like you don't try to trade Benner and keep Husso?
After seeing Husso
No.
not be that amazing in the playoffs, but I also think it's part of that our defense has not been playing.
We're
good.
also playing one of the best offenses.
Yeah.
They're
in
they're
their second best offense.
watching them in
So-
person. They're so
They're
fast.
so fast. They showed the stat yesterday on the broadcast. That was like the top 6 fastest skaters were all on Colorado.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think the story for me was like they showed McCarr when I was watching on TV the other night, and he just got done with like a minute and a half shift, and he's just sitting there on the bench.
Yeah.
And Perron, who was on there with him, is like just wheezing, like gasping for air. He's in incredible shape, which I don't think people talk about enough. I would do Benner and have Lindgren be your backup because Chucky came up here this year, and you also have goalies like Hofer has been really good in the minors, and then another guy, Colton Ellis. So I think he's playing overseas right now, but he was a top draft pick for us too. So you have options. I could see Husso. I dropped my phone. I could see Husso going to Edmonton. That's
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, I can
maybe
see
you and I
that as
talked
well.
about that.
Yeah.
And then the other name I have is I believe Tarasenko is a free agent.
Yeah.
He ain't coming back.
So do you he was your leading goal scorer, but do you let him go? And then I'll tell you what I think I would do. I would let Tarasenko. I would not pay him because he's 30.
It's a
32.
lot of
I
money,
don't think he
too.
wants to stay, does he?
Well, he hasn't said anything since the
True.
beginning of
He
the
seemed to
season,
enjoy
so-
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He hasn't done jack shit in the playoffs.
He's been awful.
He's done nothing.
Besides that hat trick game.
Yeah.
And that was it. And that
I
was in
mean-
one period.
But we have 2 players right now that can score goals. So Riley
Yeah.
and Perron.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mhm.
I'm really disappointed in Robert Thomas.
Me too. He's been
Um,
non-existent. And Kyrou. Kyrou had a rough,
Yeah.
what was that, April? But he's done nothing. Him and Thomas both.
And that was Booch's first goal. And
Yeah.
I know you're really high on this guy, and I am too, but Barbashev's been
I said this last night during the game. I told my dad, I go, he's offensively just non-existent.
yeah.
He's throwing some big checks, but other than
Yeah,
that,
he's
just
hitting,
nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, no scoring involved.
So-
For a guy that scored 25 goals or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Shen, I don't think has scored all playoffs either.
No, like 5 assists, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
But I would let Tarasenko go, and I would throw a lot of money at Matthew Tkachuk. He's from St. Louis. His dad played here and
He
everything.
had over 100 points this year, right?
Yeah, he,
Oh,
he had over 40
that entire
goals.
line did.
He's like a lot better, I think, Shen, where he's willing to scrap.
Oh, yeah.
He stirs up
I like
everything.
it. I like it.
Oh, I would like to have him on. the
Bring him
team.
home.
I don't know how much money he's like.
He'll win a lot.
Oh, he'll want.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think Goudreau's either I don't want Goudreau, but either next year or maybe this year he's
No,
free.
he's a free agent after this year.
He's another guy
year.
that,
This is a money year.
Yeah, so he's a guy that like has not shown up in the playoffs to me either.
Yeah.
That much. I see him just kind of more finesse, like skating around guy. What I thought McDavid was, but McDavid's turned physical all of a sudden. We can do it some NBA here. I know I'm
Been kind of lame NBA.
I'm usually the one that wants to talk about it. I don't even really want to talk about it. The Heat Celtics are 2-2 now. It's just been blowouts.
Warriors have dominated. They're up 3-0 against
Yeah.
the Mavs. Do they play tonight?
They played tonight.
The
Yeah,
Mavs
that game's
blew
right.
last game, right? Or game 2.
I think
The
it was,
Mavs can't play defense.
it was game 2 because
They're up by like what 20 and a half.
Yeah, I
was
think
some-
so. And Steph Curry took over.
yeah, I think that's the game at the end. They couldn't get stops. It was just back like Lucas had 40 plus in it,
Yeah.
but they cannot stop on the other end.
The Warriors, because they actually play real offense instead of ISO ball.
I know that you're not a big NBA guy, but you are a Mavs fan.
Yeah, I like the Mavs.
So would you prefer saying that we all agree the series is over?
Oh, yeah.
Would you go Gobert, Ayton, or Miles Turner?
Hecky, any of them.
Because all three would
Yeah.
insanely help.
I'd kind of take I'd probably take Gobert or Ayton because I think Miles Turner is kind of injury prone.
Yeah.
Like he is younger, but they just need someone to be an interior force.
I would go
Ayton's-
Gobert.
I would take Gobert, but Ayton at least Gobert's averages like 14 games, he just dunks. But I think
Yeah.
him and get the whole European team going.
Yeah, how many lobs Luka would be throwing in?
Mhm. Got the Stifle Tower and Luka Magic.
Really help defensively.
Yes, for sure.
And I don't know how you would have to do some kind of. He's not a free agent, is he, Gobert? I don't think so. I think you'd have to
was.
trade.
Thought he was.
But you think so?
I'm not sure. I think Jalen Brunson's a free agent.
Yeah, and he's going to get some money, even though he hasn't performed really well in this series.
He's
Maybe
gonna
it was
get
the
paid.
last couple of the Suns, but he's going to get a lot of money.
Mhm.
What else was I going to say about that? Oh, do you think? Did we talk about this already? Do you think DeAndre Ayton is a bust? Did we talk about this?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
I think
I
we
don't
kind of
remember what
said.
you said.
I think we said yes, just because he's like decent, but a lot of first round draft picks, you have to be like all stars.
Yeah.
It's all stars for like 5 years
Yeah.
at least.
The thing is, I think he would do really well in Charlotte
Mhm.
with LaMelo, and I think Gobert would fit better in Dallas.
I would like that.
And then, I mean, Game 5 prediction for the Heat and Celtics. It's in Miami,
Who won the last game?
Boston.
I'm go Heat. I think it's alternated every single game.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a blowout. It's really like you guys are talking about how postseason is more fun in NBA to watch the regular season. It's not been fun, even
Yeah.
as I'm a super NBA fan, but I've had a hard time. I've been more interested in NHL watching that than NBA.
I do like the teams in the NBA. It's just kind of some different teams, young
Yeah.
guys on each team, except the Warriors. It's like all the other teams are like kind of young guys, kind of starting to prove themselves. I guess. God, now I say that, I just keep like Jimmy Butler's old and stuff. But,
Yeah.
And then
No,
the
I mean-
Warriors trying to continue. They got all their guys back. It's like their OG team when
Yeah.
they had Steph, Clay,
Yeah.
and Dre, and still beat LeBron. Yeah, so
Our
it's exciting to
first,
see if they can
Our
get
first
back.
in-person LeBron Jeb. Before we move on to NFL, did you guys see the Andrew Wiggins poster on Luka?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's one of the best posters I've seen. It's pretty nasty. I mean, he hit Luka in the face like with his offhand, but Luka at the end was like, I think in the interview he said something about how he didn't think it was anything. He was like, he said, I wish I could jump like that. That's what he said. So like Wiggins can just absolutely
The
fly.
best, did you guys see the picture of Luka and Boban before like one of the games? They're just out drinking a beer.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Mavs are probably it's in Dallas tonight. I think they win tonight, or is it tonight we said?
Yeah, maybe.
I think they win tonight and then probably lose game 5 in Cali. So let's finish off with our last, or I guess our next NFL team, our third team in the NFC East.
Let's go.
I'm actually going to let you carry most of this one.
America's team.
I will give my prediction. I believe the Dallas Cowboys will be.
Screw you.
I'm going to go between two. I'm going to go the Dallas Cowboys will be 11-6.
Okay. I'll take
Okay.
I have 10-7, Zach. Sorry.
Screw you. I have us at 12-5.
Okay.
I went through the schedule. We're gonna lose our first 2 games. We'll beat the Giants. We'll beat the Commies. We'll lose to the Rams. We're beating the Eagles. I'm just going super confident on that. I don't think there's. I know AJ was gushing over him last episode.
I will say I said Cowboys will beat them both games though.
Oh yeah, you did.
So I'll give you that.
They're gonna beat the Lions, beat the Bears. They're gonna lose to the Packers because they're like our Achilles heel, kryptonite. We should beat the Vikings. We beat them with Cooper Rush this past year. Beat the Giants. Maybe the Colts. I count them because I don't know who their quarterback is.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I had you guys losing that one.
Beating the Texans and Jaguars, and then beating the Eagles, losing to the Titans, and beating and I think that's 12 wins. We have some teams that aren't that good that we play kind of at the end, which is the Texans and Jaguars, which I'm kind of happy with.
Yeah.
And the Lions, but
That's back-to-back weeks, isn't it?
Texans, Jaguars, yes. But our first 2 games to start the year, our first kind of 6 games, we play our NFC division rivals, and then we play the Buccaneers, Bengals, and the Rams. So the 2 teams that are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tough start. But I think we'll be okay. It's really just, can our offense get back to how they were playing? And hopefully Zeke is healthy, gets his knee reattached. I don't know.
I want to ask you about that. So would you rather, or do you think this year Tony Pollard will have more carries? Not more than Elliott, but like more than what he had. It'd be more of a
I want them to be kind of like in Cleveland, Kareem Hunt and
Like
Nick
duo.
Chubb, because I think they're both like super good running backs, like Elliott and Pollard. But as Cleveland's been like, when they're both healthy and playing, they're like unstoppable. And I think we can do that same thing. Like Zeke's more of a power guy and Pollard's more of a speed guy. But if they stay healthy and we use them correctly and don't do wimpy little plays, I think we could have a good offense. And we just really need our offensive line to play good.
Yeah.
They've always said that every year. They're like, Cowboys offensive line so good. I'm like, they suck this year. So we need our offensive line to play good. Hopefully our first round pick, Tyler Smith, is not a walking penalty like they said on the draft, and is actually good. He's a big boy.
Is he a tackle?
Yeah,
Exactly,
offensive tackle.
You
Yeah.
draft a guard that high.
Yeah.
And do you have any hot takes like Dak for MVP or anything?
I don't think Dak will win MVP. I think he needs to play better, be more consistent. But I will say that one key is we need Michael Gallup to be healthy, because when he's healthy, he is really good. And we need what?
What's your wide receiver core then?
We have Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb.
That's that. Is it that Brown?
I think we have Noah Brown still.
That's not who I was thinking of actually.
He is. We drafted Jalen Tolbert,
There's a guy last year that you had.
Cedric Wilson. He went to Miami.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
And then we have Dalton Schultz, a tight end who's really good. He had a breakout year last year. But we just really need them to stay healthy and then perform good and just honestly just catch the ball. CD is really good, but sometimes he will drop
He
one
needs to
that's
take that
right.
next step.
Yes, they both knew, Gallup and CD. And I think Gallup had some catches last year which were crazy, and him and Dak have a pretty good connection. So hopefully they perform how they should.
I was thinking about putting him at 12-5. I had 11-6, not some major jump or anything, but I think the division is tougher than past years. I think the Eagles are improved. I think the Commanders are improved.
They had way better drafts than we did. As people call it, the NFC Beast.
Yeah.
Because it's always just we just beat each other, and then whoever's 6-10.
Yeah.
6-11.
11 now.
Yeah, it makes it to the playoffs.
And what's the name that I missed last week when I was doing the Eagles?
Devontae Smith.
Yeah. I said the rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, it's like, come on, AJ.
I
He won the Heisman.
brain fart there. Anything else on your Cowboys?
As always with the Cowboys, everyone always loves to talk about them and always gets my hopes up. And I know we will not win a Super Bowl. We may make it to the playoffs, probably lose in dramatic fashion to the Packers. But I know I'm going to get excited because we're probably going to beat the Buccaneers or Bengals. I'm like, oh, we're legit, and then we'll fall off a cliff.
I
It
think
happens every
you
year.
beat the Buccaneers last year on
No, we almost did.
the Buccaneers won that one.
Yep.
Oh.
You guys choked big time, didn't you?
Or
did you guys come back?
It was like back and forth. Dak threw like for 400 yards. Amari Cooper had like 13 catches. I'm like, ooh. Yeah.
Do you think you'll miss Amari?
I think so.
He's in Cleveland, right?
Yeah. With Deshaun Watson, I think that's going to be a great connection.
Yeah. It's probably going to be your third favorite team because Clemson.
Yeah.
Clemson Deshaun there.
Maybe the Raiders. I'll have Hunter Renfro.
But I guess we'll talk about Giants next week. Wrap up next episode.
G-Man.
Wrap up the NFC East and then move on from there. But anything else from you guys?
I don't think so.
I
It was
kinda
a
like doing it-
fun in person.
I like doing it in
Yeah,
person
it's better.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a lot better.
for sure. But I guess besides that, we will see you guys later this week whenever we do episode 23.
See you guys.